What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Andrew Tate and Pearl debate modern women. So guys, honorable mention here. I believe Brittany Renner is also in this video and discussion. I've got my coffee. I hope you have yours. To those of you who appreciate the longer form content, I know that you're going to probably appreciate this video. Now, I don't know if I'm going to react to the whole thing, and we'll just see how it goes. As usual, for these type of longer videos, I like to read the comments up front. Of course, a lot of people had something to say about this specific episode. We're going to check that out right now. Our first comment reads, "This is by far the most funny, outrageous, and thoughtful podcast I've seen by far." Next comment here says, "Tate is remarkably brilliant. He really backs up each argument soundly. Laughed at the chess reference." In parentheses, it says, "His father was a high-level chess master. He himself competed against adults as a child." Next comment here from a woman says, "You know who threw away the female power in the sexual market?" With the question mark. "Promiscuous females," she says. To quote Andrew Tate, I believe, she goes on to say, "So glad to hear those words said by another person. Just been thinking it to myself for years." Next comment here quotes Brittany Renner, "Sex is a spiritual unification." Also Brittany Renner, "Spit in my mouth." Another woman here says, "Just watched the whole 3 hours. This was better than a movie." Next comment from another person says, "This is the best episode Pearl has ever done. Well done, Pearl." And finally, our last comment reads, "Pearl, you outdid yourself with this one." Now, this is my first time watching this, and as always, no more wasting time. Let's get it.
Okay, so why don't we go around and have everyone on the panel introduce yourself. Say your name, your age, your relationship status, where are you from, and just a little bit about you. Why don't we start here?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Brittany Renner. I am 30 years old.
Let's get back into it.
I'm single as a Pringle. I have a 1.5-year-old son, and I'm here to learn something new today.
I'll help you with that. That's why they brought me.
Damn.
Okay, right off the bat, this is going to be good. Oh, man. Let's go.
Well, sir, they brought me here to look for trouble. It's the Nalva the troublemaker. You thought she couldn't do it, but she did it. Here she is. I am freshly 30. I am single, not ready to mingle yet. And something interesting about me, well, I'm a smart woman. I'm here to see if Mr. Tate can learn something from me.
Oh.
Sagittarius, relax, please. Be nice. Come on, I wasn't rude.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Andrew Tate, 36 years old. I cannot disclose personal information because, of course, my enemies are after me. But, yeah, I'm here to educate, as I always am. Perhaps somebody will say something remotely insightful, but at least I get a clementine if not. So I'm chilling with my orange.
And it's your girl, Esther, the Nigerian queen. I'm here to entertain, to disagree with somebody in here.
Oh, Auntie, she's looking at you.
Really, I am looking at somebody.
It's her favorite duo. It's her favorite duo.
But no, for real though, I'm just here to have a good time. Just, yeah, get some vibes. And in terms of my relationship status, I am single, doing interviews. I'm not just going for anybody. But yeah, that's how it is.
Auntie Jenny here, 54. I'm here to cut out the bullshit. Simple.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Yo, Auntie is popular. By the way, I don't really know much about most of the people on the panel. You know, just Pearly Things, of course. She's been on the channel before. Tate, Brittany Renner. I've reacted to both those guys, so this should be interesting. No more pausing it, guys. We're going to watch it.
Thank you, guys.
I bet you do.
Yeah, you have to cut the bullshit. That's the problem with the world today. It's too much bullshit.
And they're not direct. If they've got something to say to you, just say it.
Absolutely.
Why are you being mean already?
I don't really
Say
care.
it.
If you've got something to say, just say it. Don't beat around the bush. Just say it.
So
'Cause if
basically,
I've got
I'll
something
say
to
it.
say,
I already got my
just say
teammate.
it. Just say it.
100%.
Hey, Auntie, I
Yeah.
beg, give the girl a chance to speak now and relax.
What girl?
Hey,
What have I said?
this one.
What have I said?
I'm addressing the elephant in
What
the
have I
room,
said?
innit?
Listen, I don't believe in no
You
elephants
gotta
in the
get
room.
yourself up,
If there's
like-
something to say, just say it. Don't beat around the bush. If you got something to say to me, I am here. Talk to my face. There should be no elephant in the room because this ain't no zoo. You understand? So if you got something to say, just say it. We're all big. No, I'm just saying, we're just all big people here. So if I want to say something to you, I'm going to say something to you straight like I normally do.
Yes.
If I've got something to say to Esther, I'm going to tell Esther. Whether she likes it or not, I don't really care. Andrew Tate, my son's older than him, so I don't give a damn who he is. I'm going to just say what I got to say.
Okay, from the looks of it so far, I don't know if you're catching the same vibe. There's drama here. I don't know with who, but people are speaking indirectly. And Auntie here, who I'm just gonna call her that because it seems like that's what everybody's calling her in the comment section down below. She's like, if you have a problem with me, address me directly.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
She's like, hey, I drink coffee.
So whoever don't like it, that's tough. Don't come.
You missed out, Brittany. I feel picked on.
Okay, so
And Brittany too, right? Even Pearl too. Feel better now.
yeah, Auntie gave me Auntie was yelling at me in wife school the other day, so she doesn't give a shit. Okay, so my first question is, what is the number one problem facing men today, and what is the number one problem facing women today?
I'm gonna say something.
Come on, ladies.
Everybody's
Everybody's
gonna
going to educate me.
The number one.
And answer all the questions. Come on, tell
The
me.
number one problem with men is that they don't tell women the truth, and the number one problem with women is that they can't handle the truth. Simple.
Ooh.
That's a good paradigm to start from because it's actually very interesting you say that. A lot of women say, I just want a man who's honest. And then the second you're honest, she's like, what? You did
Exactly.
what? It's like, well, then don't ask me for honesty. Of course I lie.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So that's a good point. I
There's
agree
some
with
truth in that for sure.
I don't think it's the biggest problem, but it certainly is a problem in relationships today. That is a problem. The biggest problem with men today is that I think the world is becoming hyper competitive. Most men are not aware and understanding of how quickly there's going to be a genuine shift in between those who have things and those who do not have things. Not just finances, but also female status, everything else. And it's a status game, right? And it's becoming harder and harder for men to play. And that's all women's fault, of course. Because women choose the winners, right? Women choose who the high status males are. So women pretend to give a shit about men. Of course they don't. They give a shit about themselves. And
Let's go, Andrew. Let's go.
And a woman, if you ask her what she wants from a man, she's like, I don't want much. I just want to find a nice man who's a millionaire and 6 foot tall and funny and charismatic and interesting and spontaneous and looks after me and doesn't cheat and is funny and good looking and strong. I don't want much. Like they name all this shit that most dudes are never going to have. And it's becoming harder and harder. And you end up with people, top G's who own everything on the planet they could ever possibly wish for. And then you got other guys who have nothing. And there's this large divide. There's no longer any middle ground. You have dudes who can't get any pussy, and then you got dudes who are just blocking girls left, right, and center. And that's what the problem with being a man is today.
What about the women?
What about them?
Should I say the problem
I
with
would
women
say
is? I'll tell you.
Well, everybody's got a chance to talk.
I'm going to shut up and have my Clementine.
No, I want to know. I want to learn from you, sir.
You want to learn from me?
Well,
Yes, sir.
I wanted to answer. I feel like it goes for both. It's not just one or the other. I feel like it's self-accountability.
Definitely.
Yo, this is like a strange, weird thing to look at. Never in my life did I think I would see Andrew Tate and Brittany Renner on the same panel. Like, same couch, very, interested to see what else comes from this discussion. Let's keep watching.
Women are not accountable for themselves. I agree with you there.
Why
0%.
just women though? What
It's
about
both.
men?
It's
Yeah,
both.
It is
definitely both.
It is both. You're right. But society punishes men for not being self-accountable. But society does not punish women for not being self-accountable. I'll give you an example. If you're a man and you're arrogant and you think you're something when you're not, trust me, society will teach you very quickly that you don't matter when you don't get laid and you stay a fucking brokey. If you're a chick and think you're something when you're not, you can run around with your ego, still get dates, still get laid, still have a fairly sensible social life. Society as a whole doesn't come along and slap you in the face with realizations. If you're a man and you think you're something you're not, it is a ticking time bomb until society teaches you a lesson. That's the difference.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
This is why men in general are more self-accountable, because the men who are not self-accountable get f***ed up. So those who are successful are very self-accountable people. They look at themselves and go, okay, the only way I'm going to get and progress further, the reason she left me, the only way I'm going to do better, make more money, et cetera, is I have to change. Most women don't want to do that. They don't sit and think I have to change. They think, oh, he left me because it's him, and I lost my job because my boss, and this is this because of this. Women don't look in the mirror and change a thing.
No, because don't
Ever.
forget what you're forgetting right nowadays. They can't change it because it's all about body positivity.
Are you
They
saying-
can look sexy at a size 28.
Are you saying Lizzo's not a 10?
Are you guys trying to get me canceled?
See, I'm not gonna lie. I don't agree with what you just said because 90% of cosmetic surgery is by women. Women are trying to change as much as possible. Men don't want to change.
Yo, I thought the delusion would start, but I didn't think it would be at the 9-minute mark. Come on. Women are trying to change. They're trying to change by getting cosmetic surgery. Crazy. Let's keep listening.
Change. They're not accountable for themselves. They think that because they're a man, you're gonna be attracted to them. No, like you can't be fat. You stay at home. You're just playing video games, and you expect a woman to want to you. No, she's not gonna want to you.
Yeah, but then she won't. This is the point. And then she won't, and society will teach them a lesson. They might be able to pull off a little blag with a girl for a year or so, but in general, they're going to end up lonely. In general, they're going to struggle to find partners. I agree with you with the cosmetic surgery thing. Women are happy to change their appearance and change how they look, but they're not happy to change how they act. Most of them, they're not happy to change. No, they're not.
The women are changing
So of course, what Andrew Tate's saying, just to make it a little bit more clear for people who may be wondering, what he's talking about is men, because there's such a strict standard when it comes to burden of performance, right? Doesn't matter who you are as a man. If a woman's gonna have sex with you, if you're gonna get laid, you had to work for that in some way, shape, or form. And I'm talking about guys who go out here and attract women organically, not guys who go out here and pay for it, right? But even that in itself costs money, which translates to time, right? You had to work for that. But a woman, even at her worst, because there's so many pandering simps, because there's so many people who are willing to sleep with her, and society as a whole just cuddles women, it then doesn't encourage women to change their own personal lives. It works against them in the long run. Let's keep listening.
Men don't care about. The men don't care about the big old lips.
Yes, they do.
And no, they do it. The women are doing that for themselves.
Yeah.
Because the men don't care about it. The men would rather a woman change her stinking attitude than put on all that makeup and hair and everything. That's what the men want. But the women will go out there like, oh, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that. If you look at a man and the man said, yeah, he's fat. The man will most, if he's feeling bad about himself, he wants to make sense, he'll go and hit the gym. What's the woman going to do? Go and do? Get a BBL, get her lips done, put on her makeup, put on her hair, and stay the big old fat person that she is and say, oh, it's body positivity. The men don't even want that. And the women are not getting all this cosmetic surgery for the men. They're getting it for themselves. You can't turn around. What man wants a woman that's going to turn around, go and have an operation, and can't sit on a plane because her arse has been injected or been interfered with? She got to lie there on her stomach. You think the men want that? Or wake up in the morning before you got to hit the house, she's got to put on. I'm sure I worried about some of the men because they must go out with a woman. Ooh. And then when they wake up in the morning, they think, who the hell is she?
The scars,
by the time you take everything off, women need to change their attitudes before they change their makeup. I'm sure that even more than that, change your attitude.
And so what's being discussed here is whether women get cosmetic surgeries for themselves or for men. I think they get it for both, right? But what's really not being discussed right now is women's short-term and long-term mating strategy, and both men's short-term and long-term mating strategy. Here's the truth, man. As much as I've talked down on like the BBLs and women who get the injections, see, I'm in LA, I see it all the time. The truth is, men will bust the cheeks. Right? It's just the truth. They will smash. But the problem is, those same women who go out and get these lip fillers to like unrealistic extent, like you're starting to look like somebody else now. Or they'll go get work done with their body, injections, surgeries. Those women think that that's how they'll keep a man long term. No, that won't get you a ring. That won't keep a man in a long-term relationship. What you are is you're drawing attention to the parts of you that triggers a man's sexuality, that makes him want to view you as a sexual object. Right? And women can't like differentiate between the two. They think both attention is the same. As in the guys who want to smash. We see it all the time with the women who are over 35, 40s, and they think they have options of like high value men, but those men have never proposed to them or never married them, but they will smash them. It's the same thing, right? They confuse that attraction, physical attraction, with like a long-term relationship. Let's get back into it.
Because women will go out there and they would want to change this, they want to change that, all the things that don't count. If you learn to, the same way how women can go out there and learn to put makeup on, learn to cook, learn to wash by hand, learn to please a man.
That is so outdated,
That's what you need to do.
That's outdated, girl.
She said, girl.
That's outdated.
She's right.
For who?
I'm saying it's like we had literally just talked about this off camera when you guys picked me up from the airport, when we were talking about what's the value system or the point system for a woman who cooks versus a woman who can suck good and well.
But you can cook and suck.
No, but I'm saying is that Pearl, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but quoting her was that when she interviewed people on the street, that there was more points given to something for like a sexual return as opposed to, wash dishes by hand. There's a dishwasher. Why cook? We can eat out. There's a chef. People don't give a about that.
That's what they think.
But we literally just talked about this yesterday.
No, it was okay. I did a street interview and I asked the guys, would you rather have a girl that gave good head or a good cook? And most guys
they want this.
But I think that's
For
more,
the quick
but I
satisfaction.
think that's more for like a one night stand.
But what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is that if you, all the women out there, and they're talking about, well, some of the women want to be settled down. They want a man. Right? And you got to think what the man wants. The man ain't interested in that. Look at, when you're doing street interviews, you're interviewing single people. Look at the people there that are happily married and ask them what they do. Because all the things that the women out there are doing, you can be a housewife, you can be going out, you can suck head just as good as any old tramp on the street. And keep your man and have a man. And I can say that because I'm 32 years in counting.
She's right. And again, going back to the short-term versus long-term mating strategy, what a man wants, what he values short-term is different from what he wants when he's in a long-term relationship with you, right? If you're just a side piece, man, if you're part of his rotation, he doesn't require you to wash dishes. That's not what he's looking for. He's looking for somebody who knows how to get down in the bedroom, right? Or at least a smart man, or most men understand that those two women are different. Can you be both? Maybe. But depending on what that man's looking for, it just comes down to the other thing is not as important as the other thing.
Auntie, you can't say attraction's not important though.
Talking to your mic.
You can't say attraction is not important though.
It is important.
For you to
Initially.
get initially, exactly. A man is not going to find you attractive and then think, because you can cook well. It's got a chef.
A man's going to find you attractive and he's
Okay,
going to...
let's ask Andrew.
He's going
Andre,
to...
would you be with a girl that's 5 out of 10 because she can cook?
That ain't what I said.
Oh, well, firstly, that's not what she said, to be fair. And secondly, I'd be with a 10 out of 10 who can cook because I'm top G. But to make the point, I think what you have to understand is what men are looking for in a relationship. So you did the street interview and you're asking single people, probably young people, probably idiots who know they're on camera talking shit about good head, all this garbage. It's bullshit. What men are interested in life, not just in their relationship, but in their life as a whole, is status. I don't think most people understand, especially women, how competitive the male world is and how competitive it is for status. This is why men do everything they do. Men buy the faster car, not to drive any faster, because of status. It's why we want a bigger house. We don't give a shit where we live. It's because of status. It's why I want to go to the gym and get big and strong, because of status. Everything we do is about status. It's why I want the better jobs. It's why I want more money. It's why I want to be respected. So what's the number one thing we want our female to give us? Status. That's what we want. So she can give us status by being beautiful. That's one thing she can do. But another thing she could do is if I turn up home and I come home with my boys and she says, I'll cook you all a steak. That's status.
Come on
That's
now.
all my boys going, Ross, you just been out all night and she's here and she's going to cook for all of us and she'll clean up and tidy up. Boom. That's the kind of girl a man's not going to want to lose because it makes him look good.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
That's what men want. Status. Suck it, blah, blah, blah. Listen, can only be sucked in so many ways. I mean, let's be serious about this.
Have you had the Gok 3000?
No, this is actually a serious point, right? This is a very serious point because the Western world has collapsed in real time and it's a failed society. And one of the reasons it's a failed society is because of the over-sexualization, especially of females as a whole. If a woman comes up to me and goes, I'll be the best sex you ever had, I am revolted. I don't want the best sex I've ever had. I want you to be pure and a virgin. You should know what sex is. Cook my dinner. Shut up. Don't come and talk to me about fucking sucking dick. It's vile. It's disgusting. I don't want to hear that shit.
Can I say something?
I don't want to hear that shit.
Brittany Renner. She's triggered. She's like, I feel attacked. I drink tea.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
Let's keep watching.
What I want is a woman who makes me look good. No woman who's running around talking about sucking can make me look good. So
All the modern women are pissed. Look at it, rolling their eyes. One's got their hand up. Andrew's on fire, man. Let's go.
lose interest completely and utterly, and that's the truth. So what she's saying is completely correct. These are old school things, but it's not about the act. Yes, you can order food, of course. It's about the status that comes with it. That's what it's about.
Sagittarius, spoken like a true one. That is true.
My
It's a
man's
Clementine.
my
It's a
man's a
Clementine.
Sagittarius.
Keeps you
Listen,
hyped.
well,
My man's a Sagittarius.
so basically, it's a straight shooting sort of conversation. But I think that sometimes we get distracted and we talk about the bicker of between men and
I'm sorry. I have to give Andrew's credit on that. Great point. A woman who is submissive knows how to make her man look good in front of other men because men value status. That woman increases his status. And I don't think women understand that at all. You know, and the type of power an attractive woman who understands this, who's seeking a relationship, if she gets all this about what men want, could really afford that woman anything she truly wants, right? Let's keep watching.
women. I think that the problem that men and women have is the consequences of the bad decisions that the 1% of powerful men make on our behalf, because our problems are on a societal level less than between woman and man. That is why there's a lot of competition between men, this chase for status that they will never get.
Why is that the fault of the 1% of men?
Because they're the ones that drive the machine that runs this. The West
It's
is
always been that way.
yeah, but then think about the men that are at the top now, the corruption and everything that's going on. And this is why it feels very good to sit next to somebody like you and just say, do you know what? I appreciate that you say things that are really true. You expose a very toxic truth and a very true truth as well that is out there. But the reality is, on the trenches, when you go to the grassroots, people don't feel the way that you feel. It's not as simple as what you say. They are victims of this system. So my job here is really not to try and make it about men and women, is to make you understand that actually we need to start changing the narrative.
She doesn't want to make it about men and women, but she just blamed men.
This coffee smells like shit.
Women.
You don't want to make it about men and women because
They're both messed up on either side.
Because then women look bad.
No, because it's about everybody together. Women have their
Right. We're
traumas,
gonna
men
talk-
have their traumas. I'm not here to fight against men and women. That's small.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but the idea that this 1% of men have created this terrible society. Yeah, I talk about that. I talk about the Matrix. I talk about these things, but it's always been this way. It's always been a small elite group of men who are in charge of the world. And unfortunately, now we're fighting battles in different ways. The days of old, a man proved his worth by going to war. Basically, every man at any point in his life was going to end up going to war, and he came back victorious. He came back with honor. He got himself a wife. That's how it worked, right? Now men don't have to go to war as much, depending on where you live in the world, and it's slightly different, and we fight our wars in other ways. And one of the true expressions of testosterone and trying to really express your ability and your combative ability now in the modern world is power and influence. So in the olden days, you'd go to war, you come back with a ribbon. Nowadays, you got X amount of followers, you can move the world with money. I can bend reality with money. Please understand, if I walk into Jimmy Choo, they lock the door. No brokies allowed in. Tate's here, and I buy what the f*** I want. There's lines outside because I'm there. I bend the world with money. That's how the wars are now won.
Andrew's over here talking his shit.
You're talking about high status males, and it's always been that way. Now you have a whole contingent of men who aren't dead. Okay, they didn't die in a ditch, but they're lonely as jerking off. And that's the reality of it. And women don't give a about them. And why should you? I'm not sitting here actually shitting on women in any way. I think women have a biological instinct to a degree to try and find the best mate they can because it gives them the highest chance of survival in the harsh realities of the world. And if they look at a man who's not capable, they just don't feel an attraction to him. And that's the bottom line of it. And that's why I'm largely misunderstood. I don't blame women for a lot of the problems. Women are guilty of certain things, but I have a massive amount of blame to place on men because there's so many men who are genuinely incompetent. If I was a chick, I wouldn't f these losers either. Like, they're losers. So it's hard out.
Balance.
It's
I
hard.
love it.
Do you know what I don't understand? Why people are always going for the 1%? All the women want to rush for the 1%. Why don't you just find a regular 9-to-5 person that's going to look after you? You can be his queen. Why can't you just do that? Why is everybody really rushing? I've got a man. We don't go on social media. If it weren't for Pearl, I want no night about social media. 9 to 5. I've got our own property. 32 years. Happy as Larry. What is the problem? It's not old-fashioned. It works.
No, Auntie, let me clarify. When I meant 1% is not the 1% of attraction. I mean the actual people that are in charge of the things that run the world the way that
What
it
I'm
does.
trying to say is that it's always been an umbrella we've lived under.
But the
and men have
difference is-
functioned underneath it. So why is it going to affect me?
I'll explain why. Because as Sir Mr. Andrew King Tate said,
Like that.
I want to know.
as he
She's putting some respect on that name. Yeah, he's got her. She's won over. Brittany's next.
said,
I want want to know what
Thank
I want to know what
you.
she's after.
I'll have this on after
I
this
want to know what she's
point.
after. She's going to go home and try that now.
It's the
put it in her-
Clementine.
Wait, it is. I've been drinking lime juice as well. So, as he very rightly said, society has now evolved. Before men went to war, now men don't go to war. So there's a lot of sense of no purpose that they need to find. And then on the women's side is that the same way that a society evolved, it made men feel less purpose. They have now had to take on bigger purposes. They have to go to work like they didn't have to do before. They have to take care of the family and work and do all of these things and now deal with the fact that men are feeling a little bit like out of,
What a load of
but
bollocks.
she- no,
What
but
a
she-
load of rubbish. That ain't what I'm saying.
No. Oh,
You get a 9 to 5 person, right? What is wrong with you going out there, find a regular 9 to 5 person, right? You can function underneath that because I'm always hearing the women say, "Oh, we ain't got enough money. We ain't got enough money." Work with what the man's got.
You're right.
Work with what the man's got. You can make a man your alpha. Everybody wants to go and find these top earning money. Find a 9 to 5, work regular, save your money, learn to cook and not have takeouts, and then save your money as they did before.
Then you
Very true. Very true. And you know, the problem is a lot of times women will have this discussion and forget that there was a time when women made it work, right? But the difference with our generation today is if you're constantly on your phone and you're being shown pictures of the top percent of people, and a lot of people, man, are out here pretending to be living like a top percent life. But you're seeing all these people who are not going through any financial struggles. Some of them really have money, some of them are faking it. But you're comparing your life to what you see on social media a lot of the times. That's what happens with a lot of these women, right? And never before have we had social media like we have access to it now, where people are just highlighting the best part of their life. They're on a jet, they're in a Bugatti, shout out to Andrew Tate, or, you know, they're taking vacations every other week. And if you just compare your own life, shit, if I just compare my life to the average person's life who I look at on Instagram, who posts regularly, I would think that it's all peaches and cream. And I don't think people really give enough credit to social media and how it really affects people's perception, but mostly women's perception, because they're already delusional. They already have society telling them that there is this unicorn of a guy out there who's going to fix all your problems. And they live in a world that's been civilized to the point where they don't see the guy in the trenches at the water plants treating the water that they drink. They don't need a man. Why? Because I can turn on this faucet, right? They have the police to call, even though they're largely male. They don't see the guys who are keeping the lights on a daily basis. And so they're already fed this delusion. On top of that, you're showing them these lavish lives that these other men can provide them. And here comes an average guy who's earning 45 to 50K a year. Even if he's working hard to do better, she wants that now. It doesn't matter how old she is. It doesn't matter how much points she's lost from her SMV, the older she got. All these women think they deserve a man who's in that top percent. Let's get back into it.
You should direct this to the men that feel upset because they're not like Andrew
There's
Tate.
always direct something to the man.
No,
Why?
but she's completely right. I'll tell you this. There's not a girl on this panel or on the planet today who couldn't walk outside and find a man who's going to be nice to her, loyal to her, and make her his queen. Women don't want that. So they'll sit there and go, no, I want Chris Brown. And then they'll go try to get Chris Brown. Then Chris Brown will cheat. And they'll be like, I can't believe he cheated. I am devastated. Well, what the fuck do you think's going to happen? If I go to the car garage, right, you have to make a decision what you truly want in your life. If you truly want to just find a man who's going to look after you and take care of you, you're going to be his queen, he's going to be loyal, you can find that all day, but you're going to have to settle to a degree where a lot of women perhaps are not prepared to do that. You see how women act. They'd rather chase a fraction of a real G's time than have 100% of the time of a fucking dude who they don't respect at that level. And it's kind of like going to a car dealership. You walk in there, if you want reliability, you can get a Nissan. But if you want to get a Ferrari, it comes with headaches.
Yo, these pronunciations are off the charts. And listen, I'm one to talk, man. I'm always effing shit up, but of course it's the accent, you know, Nissan, or I probably said it right, because I just can't help it. Interesting. Let's get back into it. Great analogy, by the way.
It's going to come with problems. So when girls say to me, oh, you know what, Andrew, you know, you should be loyal to that. Men like me don't have to be. And you know that. So why the fuck are you here trying to tell me what to do? Because you know I don't have to be loyal. And all the girls on don't have to be loyal. So why are you sitting there pretending you expected me to be loyal when everyone knew from ground up day one it was never going to ever happen? And you're still here.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Andrew Tate says, men like me don't have to be loyal.
I think
You're still texting.
They're going to be the one that changes you.
Well, no, yeah, of course they are.
That's the biggest mistake that girls make.
So whose fault is this? This is the female decision. They sit there and decide, no, I want this. Cool, then you're going to have to accept. He ain't going to be loyal to you. He's barely going to reply to you. That's the game.
they like being
Facts.
cheated. I swear to God, this show has made me believe. I think women like to be cheated on.
I don't.
I swear to God, no, because all y'all ever talk about is your exes that cheated on you. That's all y'all ever talk about, and it's like
only
that's
talks
the
about that.
The regular women that are on here.
The women that come on the show.
Oh, good thing I'm irregular and extraordinaire.
But do you not think it's because we're not holding men accountable? So when a man, because he's a top G, cheats on a woman, it's like, well, what do you expect? When you should actually turn around to him and
Accountable
say,
for what? Accountable for his natural
is
evolutionary
cheating-
biology.
Is cheating morally correct?
Yes.
Depends.
Yes.
How
So
do
you're
you say?
Yo. I'm interested to see where Andrew's going to take this. Let's listen.
How can you say that? Are you
You're
joking?
okay with your woman cheating on you then?
Absolutely not. That's haram.
No, because
It's around when she cheats on you, but you can cheat on her.
There has not been in the history of humanity, across any culture, any book, any story, any fable, there has never been across the history of humanity any respect put on the name of a promiscuous female ever. Ever. You name the biggest conquerors that you can possibly name from history. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, all of them. They all had 100 wives, bunch of children, big G, conquered the world. Normal. That is normal evolutionary biology. That's how men are designed to be. There's never been a single female who's been celebrated for her promiscuity ever in history. It's always been frowned upon and disgusting. So yes, we are completely and utterly different. Yes, it's different if a woman cheats on a man. And if a man is at a complete top level of his life and ticks every single box, and if he decides to be loyal, which some do, and I can be loyal, and I have been loyal, but there's also times in my life where I think, I don't want to be, and get a new girlfriend every single day of the week. I can do that, and I can decide to do that. If a woman decides to do the same, purely because her value is high enough to attract so many males, because she's beautiful, for example, it is completely different. And I'm going to explain to you why it's completely different, so buckle up.
Andrew Tate is taking these modern women to the coffee shop. They don't like this coffee.
It's different. It's different. It's different. Well, I'll tell you why. It is impossible for a female to be promiscuous on a long enough period of time without devaluing herself, because she is people she shouldn't be. There's no way she is sleeping with endless men, and all of them are either high-value men or treating her the way she should be treated. If you find a woman who slept with 50, 100 dudes, she's either dudes which aren't at her level or haven't worked hard enough to try and get the she was just too drunk to realize he's a loser, plays video games, or she's a top G who barely texts her back. So either way, she's dude she shouldn't be, or a guy who's at the level who doesn't give her the right amount of attention. For a woman to find a guy who's truly on a level, who truly treats her the way she should be treated, that's once every couple years, if that. You ain't just gonna go out there a new dude every week and say, yeah, he's worth yeah, he treats me good enough to get my da-da-da. And you know what's funny about the universe? It's actually beautiful about the universe because it's equal and opposite forces. When you devalue yourself, it's kind of like men can smell it on you. They can just look at a and go, shh. And that's the way it works. So you have to be very careful as a female and sit and go, does this man truly deserve to fuck me? And if you think about it, the answer 99% of the time, especially if you're promiscuous, is no. So when a woman is sleeping around with all these men, she's devaluing herself. She's devaluing herself, and the world knows, God knows, the universe knows. When a man does it, he doesn't devalue himself at all. That's just the way it works.
Joe, listen, I've got to give it up to Andrew Tate because that analogy was way too spot on. That's good coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
So he painted a picture there, and just to make it a little bit more clear, if a woman is promiscuous, if she's out here riding the CC, if she's smashing dudes left and right, if she belongs to the streets, if you're looking at it from strictly an exchange in value, as in, do these men deserve my body, right? Does he treat me good enough to let him hit? A lot of the times, and this is true, we all know this, women are out here messing with who? Pookies, Chads, guys with game, right? Who aren't natural like Pookies or Chads, who go and treat them like shit at the end of the day. So what Andrew Tate is saying is like, you women out here who are embracing this sexual liberation, most women today do embrace it, especially in the West. You women out here who are letting every guy who you want to share your body with hit. In most cases, he doesn't truly deserve it. He's not treating you right. He's treating you like trash. And then he goes on further to share that if a woman actually met a man who deserved her body, right, based on like, this guy actually is treating me like a good woman and he's respectful, for women who aren't attracted to toxicity, right? I'm in a good relationship with him. I'm learning things. He's someone I respect, look up to as a leader, right? Not some F-boy. Then you couldn't rack up 30, 40 bodies by the time that you're 28. It would be impossible. Why? Because men who are actually providing you with value that you can like actually say, hey, you know what? This guy is a top G and deserves my body. Well, they come to you once in a lifetime. Most women today are embracing one-night stands. They're on Tinder apps, right? Just looking at a man's physical appearance. And then they're getting upset that that man treats them like shit. And then he explains it from a male perspective, as in most cases, if you're a man and a woman is dealing with you, if you're a man who's earned his success, earned his status, then the time that she spends with you in most cases will value her. Why? Because you're a competent man, right? And are there men out here who are competent, who are high status? And let's just take out money away from it. But men who are out here who are successful, stable, who have game, who are natural leaders, right? They embrace that sort of like alpha type man and still treat women like shit. Yes. And when you run into that type of man, a woman should be able to discern whether like it's bad or good. But in most cases, if a woman is dealing with a high status man and is spending time with that man or even sharing that man, over time, the time spent learning from him, his discipline, how he's gotten to where he's at, can benefit her. When women are out here dealing with guys who are literally, women complain about bums. Right? They complain about guys who don't have jobs. Oh yeah, he's got like 2 other baby mamas, right? They complain about trash men. These are the men modern women choose to give their body up to give the cheeks up to on a regular basis, right? Let's get back into it.
Can I ask you a question? Wait, Esther, 1 second. Sir, may I ask you a question? What would you say if a woman now is married to 2 men?
Haram.
Why?
No, I'll tell you why. Let's talk about this. What is the difference between a man, let's say me, I have 4 wives, right? What's the difference between a man having 4 wives and a woman having 4 men?
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time.
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time, and we know who the parents are, right? So
Yes.
let's say you had 4 pregnancies, you know who the mother is because she's carrying the baby, and you know who the dad is, top G. If you had a woman with 4 men and she gets pregnant, who's the parents?
What about if...
No, I'm asking.
Okay,
Do you know?
I ask, what if they're different races?
Answer
one white,
the
one black?
question.
You don't know.
Answer the question.
You don't know. Now, modern science can come along and maybe fix that for you, but that doesn't mean it's not wrong in the eyes of God. The idea of having a family, the idea of a child being born, one of the baselines for a new life to come onto this planet is for at least to understand who the 2 people who made it are. At least. If you have a woman 4 dudes, you don't even know who got her pregnant.
So may I just say...
Have you seen the twins that had 2 different dads?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. May I just say something then? So if that is the case, yeah, if the one thing that you're meant to have is you, at least you know who the 2 people that put that child on earth are, then that's why promiscuity for men is also a problem, because they get women pregnant. Sometimes they don't even know they have children.
I want to point something out real quick, man. You see Brittany Renners, they're quiet. And then you see the chick in the middle is just rambling and talking on, which makes for great conversation. But what I usually notice in a lot of these situations is the women who are quiet a lot of the times in these type of discussions and panels are the women who are kind of listening like, yo, this kind of makes sense. Right? They're learning something. Whereas the chick in the middle, the woman who's always going forth and like changing the goalpost, and a lot of times she's lost.
That's haram, no?
No, it's completely different. It's different because you have to understand, I'm talking about humans. You have to look at humans from a societal perspective, but society has changed, right? So let's say 200-300 years ago, if a woman got pregnant, she needed a man to survive. If that man didn't take care of her during pregnancy, she was going to die. She couldn't work a job, she couldn't hunt, couldn't fish, whatever, right? A woman literally needed that man for survival. So if you were to come to me and say, I'm pregnant, but you've been by 4 different dudes, I'd be like, who says it's mine? Why am I looking after you? None of them want to look after her. She will literally perish. This is why in most of the world today, still today, virginity is so coveted. And throughout all of history, it's been so coveted because that's the only way to ensure paternity. She's a virgin. I know that's my baby. She ain't a virgin. Prove it's mine. Outside of this modern science bullshit, Shaitan, the devil we have here in the West, in most of the world today, without virginity or at least a low body count or at least anti-promiscuity, you can't tell that that's your baby. So it's a completely different thing. You're looking at the idea of a woman being pregnant and coming to a group of men and saying, one of you has to take care of me and put up with me when I'm fat and moody and annoying and I need my bills paid. And all the men are going to sit there and go, no, No, prove it's mine. You can't prove it. Bounce. Where it's different. If I get 4 women pregnant, we know the deal.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So obviously back then for survival, women needed a man. Otherwise, when they were pregnant, they could die and all of these things, they would perish. In today's society, given evolution, given the fact that as women we can go
still
and get...
need men.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. Isn't there a glitch between what is actually happening and the nature of what we have in our bodies? I think that's probably the conflict that we're having right now.
Glitch in what way?
In the sense that women don't feel like they need men in the most physical sense, perhaps
that's
like
right.
naturally.
It's very interesting. Women don't feel like they need men in a physical sense because life is soft, but it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because you still need men by proxy, 1, and 2, the second life gets difficult, you very quickly learn how much you need men. But women will go, I'm independent, I don't need no man because I have an OnlyFans and men pay my OnlyFans, and if anyone comes up to me, I'll call a male police officer. I don't need men. Shut up, you idiot. Of course you do. You just named your whole life is based on men. The road you're driving on was paved by a man. The house you're living in was built by a man.
Jesus.
The car you're driving was designed by a man. Your whole life depends on men. And the second anything bad were to happen to you, the second you were physically threatened, or times were to get hard, or war were to start, or famine, or riots, the first thing you do is find a big strong man, shit yourself, and throw the feminism out the window. Feminism goes out the window the second that the snow needs shoveling, or there's a broken down car, or the tire needs changing, then all that crap vanishes. It's garbage. And this is the very interesting thing. I'll make a point here, which is going to get me canceled again, but I don't give a but this is the point. Feminism in and of itself can't be defended. The point of an idea is that it can be defended by the people who believe in it. This has been the whole point of war since the dawn of time. It doesn't matter if it was the Christians against the Hindus. It doesn't matter if it was the Germans against the French. There were people who had ideas and ideologies, and they were prepared to fight each other to defend their ideology. Feminism is an ideology which cannot be defended by feminists. The only people who can defend feminism are the men who subscribe to the garbage. If all the feminists were to get in a line and say, we want feminism, and the conservative men were to get in a line, you would learn very quickly it's bullshit. I had a friend in Afghanistan when Taliban kicked
Good point.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
America out. And he told me the Americans were telling the girls they could go to school. So they built all these girls' schools, and they put the Afghanistani Defense Forces there, and they funded the Afghanistan Defense Forces to protect these schools. You had American satellites, you had night vision goggles. Taliban were afraid to attack. America leaves. Now you have Afghani Defense Forces. They're basically blind. They don't have satellites anymore. Don't have night vision, whatever. So now it's a real war. The men are standing next to this girls' school. The Taliban are coming. You're some dude. You're standing there, and you're looking at this girls' school going, I don't really give a fuck if girls go to school. Bounce. And you didn't fight. So that's why they all gave up and Taliban took over so quickly. And when I said this, the girls like, yeah, they should have fought for us, feminism. Why don't the women fight?
Can I ask?
Oh, wait, the women can't defend their own ideas.
Oh,
You need
shit.
men to defend feminism.
This video's over. This video's over. It's over. Wow. Let's go.
So that's why the whole thing is stupid. So the second men don't defend it, it just fails as a ideology. It's garbage.
May I tell you something now? So this is the thing. This is when we assume that women perhaps don't have the physical or even mental ability to go to a war. Wait. Because this is the thing. For example, in Ukraine, a lot of women took up arms. And in fact, I'm Angolan. I'm Angolan. I'm Angolan. And
Don't lie.
Listen, wait, don't worry. I'll talk about my personal story. Let me tell you something. This is the thing. I think it's also...
Look at this chick, bro. Look at this chick. Nails done up. She's got the shades on, right? Just like hair slicked back. She's talking about fighting a war. Come on. Let's get back to reality.
Really silly to assume that, for example, a woman, because she didn't go to school, she'll not be as intelligent as a man. Therefore, naturally, a woman is not intelligent. No, it doesn't make sense. If we're now starting to normalize equality and we want to put everybody in the forefront, give a woman a
Who's
gun.
normalizing equality?
Well, that's what people are wanting. Then that's
People
the case.
like who?
Let me tell you, Auntie.
Who wants to normalize equality? People like who? Feminists. Who else wants to?
Well, actually, no equality. I want respect. That's really what I want.
Stopping you from getting respect.
Exactly.
No,
I get respect.
I get respect. I get respect.
So why are you complaining if you get respect, ma'am? Why are you complaining if you get respect?
That's
You
what I
just
want.
said
That's
you
what I
want
like.
respect.
What I think is...
You don't even know what you want.
I'll tell you what I
Don't know
want.
what you want. You want
As a
equality,
woman, I
and you
carry
want
myself
respect.
differently. I actually hold the things that I have done in the fights that I fought. I hold it. That's why when you speak to me, I don't move different. I move different to many of the girls. That's why when you talk to me and you argue with me, I don't take
argue
it.
with
You do sometimes.
Oh, there's some drama. Oh, yeah. There's some smoke. Yep. Auntie and the other chick in the middle.
And And I'll tell you something. A lot of women may have the accolades to be somebody, but they are uncomfortable to own that. And the reason why, then I would like to ask you, for example, I do need a man, for example, to, you know, procreate. But other than that, I'm quite strong. And I would find a way to protect myself differently. With that mentality, what would be the man that would be for me then?
Denava, what would you do if one of these security guards broke into your door?
What would I do? Okay, I'll tell you.
What would you do? What would you
The way that Andrew Tate is laughing right now, it's probably his security, right? And, you know, he's cracking up because he's already seen what they can do.
No, seriously, there's no guns here.
She's a feminist.
I'll tell you. No, I'm not a feminist.
This is going to be good. Get your coffees, man.
I'm not a feminist. I'm a bit smarter.
Okay,
Either I play
These two
dead,
guys.
one. Yeah.
Okay, they see you're not dead.
It's okay.
They
No,
see
I'd
you
be like
breathing.
this. And then if not, maybe I would kind of like be very gentle and comply to find a way to get out of it. If they want to come and kill me, there's not much that many people can do.
Let's make an important point. You're talking about equality equaling respect. The way you get respect as a woman is by being feminine. There's nothing, we can be equal and very, very different. I'm not saying that there's not equality, but you've confused equality with the same. You can be equal with completely different things. You can have a bishop and a knight on a chessboard. They're equal in terms of points, but they do different things, right? A woman can have equal respect to a man if she is very good at being a woman, and a man gets respect for being very good at being a man. When a woman decides she wants to act like a man, or a man wants to act like a woman, that's where all get up. We try and pretend it's all the same. It's not the same. Men and women are good at different things. We have different strengths, different weaknesses. There's nothing wrong with accepting that. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm a woman, I'm good at X, he's a man, he's good at Y. Then we work together as a team, we have a beautiful family, we're happy forever. It's only confused where you have women who sit and go, no, because in the name of equality, we can fight in war. There's no women on the front line in Ukraine. That is psyop bullshit. They put some chick there dancing around doing Pokemon dances to try and convince men to go die in a ditch. It's garbage. If you go to the front line of Ukraine right now, you do not see women in their makeup and their manicures. You see men in the freezing cold dying. You know where the women are? Dubai.
On the topic of respect, real quick, the truth is the way women and men view respect today is a lot different. For the longest time, men have always known that to be respected, you have to do something worthy of respect. And so respect is earned in the male world. In the female world, and I'm talking about this new age fempowerment world that's being pushed by today's society, women are respected simply for being women. You're supposed to respect women today just for her being a woman. When do they convince society as a whole that that's okay? That a woman doesn't have to do anything at all to receive respect. But as a man, the rules never change for you. And from women, the rules never change for you. As a man, you must earn respect. Women live in a fantasy world. Modern women today. Let's keep listening.
Chilling. That's where the women are. So to sit and pretend that women are just as capable physically as men is lie, it's delusion. To say that you're as strong as men is delusion. You are good at other things. You're better than men at a lot of things, but it's not the physical world. And the unfortunate reality about life, this is what we're saying when I was saying earlier that feminism goes out the window when things get hard. The harder the world gets, the closer it gets to the baseline of humanity. The unfortunate baseline of humanity is violence. Yeah. That's what happens. If all the electricity were to go out and all the police were to quit, this would become a violent place very quickly, and there would be zero feminists left. Zero. You would all need men. That's the bottom line of reality. That's the bottom line. So you have to understand as a woman and say, okay, I need a man who's good at being a man.
But one's saying that we don't need men in society. Of course we do. We're talking about relationships. Yeah, you're strong. But the thing is, I can live my life as a woman and not need a man.
What's a woman?
Pearl, stop
it. In my day-to-day life, I don't need a man to fix my car. I'll just go to the mechanic.
But listen, right?
We need Matt Walsh to help us with that question.
Is a mechanic a man or a woman?
No. I'm saying, yes, we need men in society, but in relationships, the only reason I actually need you is because I want you. I don't actually need you.
Do you know what?
I need you to procreate. Yes, I agree. But the thing is, I don't need you in my day-to-day life.
What if someone breaks into your house?
I'll just call the police.
Okay, what if they don't come? What if the average
Play
in the
dead.
US, in the US it takes like 15
And give 'em everything.
In the US it takes like 15 minutes for them to get there.
But that's not realistic.
What-
That doesn't happen on a day-to-day life.
These two guys in your house, what are you doing?
But that's not realistic. I've not had any man break into my house on a day-to-day.
No, but
It doesn't happen.
The point
Yes,
is,
it does.
I know what
Realistic now.
I know what you're saying, but the point is this. The point is, when we're talking about feminism as a whole demonizes men. And you just sat and said, besides procreation, I don't need a man in my life. I can go to a male mechanic or call a male police officer. They're men. So it's
society, you are needed. I agree.
Okay,
Of course, we need you.
Of course. So you're talking about being with a man because you want to. So my question to you is, why would you want to be with a man?
Why would a man want to be with you?
Because they're sexy.
Like,
I feel like because of the
They got
Guys,
something
can we just
between
talk
their
about men? Sorry,
Hang on a minute.
I love men.
No.
I love
Don't
okay?
sound like it, but it's not all about. What I'm trying to say is
No,
that in a good relationship, right, one that works, there's blue jobs and there's pink jobs. Right, and that's the problem that women have got.
Oh, gee,
they don't want to be doing no pink jobs.
But that's not
Do you know
what we're
I mean?
talking
I don't even
about.
think that's what we're talking about.
We're talking about relationships. Why do you need a man in a relationship? Because you want a partner.
Companionship, friendship, romantic love, things that you can't get by yourself.
Like you want to go on dates with him. It's not about I need someone to fix my car. Like
Here's the problem: is a lot of these women are looking at relationships from a strictly female mindset, right? You can get a guy, and guys, this is exactly why women today get pumped and dumped. Exactly this, why they get used up, why they get passed around in the streets. It's this mentality right here. She's saying, well, I don't really need a man. I want a man. In today's society, we've civilized the world so much that women today wake up in a home that's built by men who they never see, right? They just show up and the home is built. And men have done that. But to her point, we'll say, why do you need a man? You want a man. Cool. And then she goes on to list, I want a man for relationships, to hang out with, to spend time with. But here's the problem. Why should that man want you? Again, it's from a completely selfish perspective. If you want a long-term relationship, unless if you want to get passed around from man to man, which some of these women do, but what they say with their mouths is that they want long-term relationships with good quality men. If you want a long-term relationship with a good quality man, you're going to need to learn how to cooperate with the man. And in order for you to cooperate with most men today, he has to get a sense that you need him. Men operate the best in relationships when they're in a position of leadership within intersexual dynamics, right? And to women, they F up because they find these guys and they think, oh, all he needs is quality time, watching movies, hanging out. But in actuality, he also needs to feel like a man. But what happens most of the times, modern women fail at relationships because they enter a relationship with this mindset of, I don't really need you, I want you. No, you gotta, a good woman makes sure that her man gets a sense that he is needed as a man.
go to a mechanic. You're not safe. Call the police.
Not
like
true.
it's not that deep.
What about a father to your kids? You don't think your kids don't need a
Exactly.
dad?
You can be
I
around.
definitely want that. These are the stuff. This is the
But
reason
no,
I
you
need a man.
that.
I agree.
Wait. It's not that you want it. You need it.
I agree. And these are the stuff that I need in a man. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's not like I completely need you. It's like, I want you.
But the whole point is if the lights went out tomorrow, you would need a man.
In
There's
society, agree.
Why do we
In
act like women are so useless?
It's not that
I
deep.
can change a tire.
I'm saying if the lights went out tomorrow, you would need someone to protect you. You
Yes,
would.
of course. In society, not my boyfriend.
I'll go underground.
Like, half of my exes can't even do anything.
Dang, Shade throwing out her exes right there. But of course, that says more about her than anything.
That's actually another problem. A lot of men can't do much.
Do you know what I mean?
Not everybody's strong.
In this day and age, guys can't even fit a tire.
You cannot.
It's actually ridiculous.
No.
Can't cook.
Not true, my sister.
But I can cook.
Brothers.
And the thing is,
Andrew Tate, speak to your brothers. They don't know how to do
I'm
nothing.
not even saying.
Guys.
Can I just say
We
something?
have to do one at a time.
Can I just say something? This is why you can't blame all men for your poor choices. You can't say, I'm talking to both of you because you're saying, yeah, my man can't do this, my man can't do that. What? And you want to settle down. Why would you go and choose a man that can't do these things that you wanted them to do?
Because
my man could do all the blue jobs.
I need a man.
Because
that
most
is
men
a
grow up
father.
with a PlayStation instead. Most men grow up with a PlayStation
It's the man that you're
porn
choosing.
and things.
It's not.
No, that's the truth.
It's not. It's not.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself.
That's the man you
Listen,
pick.
I'll tell you what,
Sorry,
right?
I don't need a mechanic
just
for my
saying.
boyfriend.
You know what?
I need a father to my children. I don't need.
Do you know something, right? She needs a
police
father. Hang on a minute.
officer.
She needs a father for her children, right?
Yeah.
So she's gonna go out there, right? And you're gonna buy your child an electric car. You're gonna go and buy your child a bicycle. Who the hell's gonna put out the bicycle and fix the electric car? Who's gonna do it?
You got YouTube. I know how to do these things. I fixed
So
the Bentley before.
Why
I
do you
fixed
need
the
a man?
Bentley.
If you can do everything yourself, go and get some sperm donor or something because you obviously don't need a man.
That's the future, I
and
think,
the thing
you
is,
know.
the future for who?
No, of
That's
like
the problem.
society.
Because at the end of the day, right,
what
listen,
year are you
hang
living
on.
in?
The
What
year that
year
you're
are
supposed
you
to be
living
living
in?
Because
Like,
hang on a
you
minute.
act like
Wait,
we are in the Stone Age.
Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking, right? Now, you got a man, right? And you've been busy all day, right? And you're in your bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. And your man comes in with all of his friends and said, oh, babes, all the friends are here. They're hungry. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'll cook for my man. I'm a traditional woman in that aspect.
In what
I love
aspect?
to cook
Why
for my
is
man.
it that when people start cooking, they think that cooking is traditional? It's everything. It's not just about cooking.
But-
They always say, I cook for my man, so I'm traditional.
I have a
No,
question.
no,
I have a
but the
question.
point is,
Wait.
I don't-
I have a question. Are you virgin? If you're traditional, you're virgin.
Are you a virgin?
I said in that aspect. I'm not gonna comment on me being a virgin or not. But what I'm gonna say is, every human being should be able to cook.
She's a
Man or
hybrid
woman.
of tradition and
I'm a person
modernization.
that survives. You know, I need to cook to
Right.
survive.
Can I ask Mr. Tate something, right? Right, I'm going to ask you something.
Sure.
Right, because I can't. I don't like bullshit, right? And there's some people that I can't
Why are you
even
so
bear
excited,
talking to,
man?
right? So I'm going to talk to him because so far he's talking sense.
You see, Andrew Tate took a break there and just let the women go back and forth. It just got loud, talking over each other.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's
You're
giving
welcome.
pick me.
Right. Who said pick me? Listen, who just said pick
They
me?
want me. Don't look at me. Oh.
I said it's giving pick me.
Give it
Because we were having a whole
Listen, right,
conversation.
listen,
And you're
right.
like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Mr. Tate.
Hang on a minute. I've been with my man for 32 years.
Clap for
right?
yourself.
32 years. I don't need to clap for myself because I'm happy. I'm not here. And what I was going to ask him, right, is how would you think a woman? Would you think
Why are you
that
shouting?
woman?
Can you
Would you
calm
think that
down?
woman? Just calm down. I'm loud. I'm naturally. You don't want to hear me shout. Anyway, Mr. Tate, like I was saying before we got rudely interrupted, right? Now, is this your idea of a woman that you think deserves a man? I'm here, single, but I'm looking. I'm here. I'm like taking, if you want to hook me up, let me know. And I just want anybody, but choose. How does that make you feel? What is that kind of woman that you think deserves a man?
Well, he's a top G. You can't be asking him this question
you don't
about us
want top
mere
Gs,
mortals.
innit?
We're mere mortals, Auntie.
Speak for yourself. I'm no mere mortal.
I'm a mere mortal in his presence.
Because nobody
Come on
above
now.
me. I
Which
am
kind
not a
question
mere
be that,
mortal.
though?
Auntie, unlike you, we have options.
I'm a mere mortal
Unlike
next to
you,
this man. Oh.
we have options.
Even this
Auntie.
8.5.
That is the most
If you have
stupid
options, then
thing.
where's your ring?
That is the most
Where's your
stupid
ring?
thing.
Because I actually can choose. I've not found a man that I want to be with. I know your reality is you gotta beg a man to keep you.
Hang on a minute. You said, unlike you, I have options.
We have options. Yeah.
You're out here looking for a man. You're out here saying that you're looking for a
When
man.
did I say I was looking for a man?
Oh my gosh, you was at the advertising when we done the introductions. That's what you said.
I said I was doing it.
That is what you said.
I didn't say I was going out looking for a man. I said I'm doing it.
Called out on her shit. Yeah. Listen, she did kind of like say that she's like looking.
In terms of my relationship status, I am single, doing interviews. I'm not just going for anybody. But yeah, that's how it is.
Hang on a minute.
You come to me, I'm going to decide if I want you.
Mr. Tate, listen to this insult, right? Listen to the L-shot.
I'm not insulting you.
Hang on, listen. All right,
I'm
then
not
what do you call it?
insulting you.
Sign language. What I'm learning. Sign language. Right? Listen to what she just said to me. Unlike you, I have options. 32 years. You think I want options? I'm happy with my man.
It's giving you don't really have much options, though. Because the way
No,
you're like,
it's not pick me. Auntie, she meant clout. Wait. She meant
chosen so bad.
Esther, I'm sure you didn't mean pick me. You meant clout chaser. Is that what it is?
It doesn't matter. We could go with that too.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to clarify your problem. I was just saying.
Okay,
wait,
because
wait,
you
so
lot have totally lost it. Why would I want to have options when I've been in a happy relationship for 32
No,
years?
Clout chases his fans.
It don't make no sense.
You can monetize on YouTube with clout.
Why are you calling her a pick me when you were the one advertising at the beginning of the show?
I said I'm doing interviews. I wasn't advertising nothing.
Okay,
It's
what-
banter.
Wait.
Do you guys understand what an interview means?
Okay.
What you-
all right, all
what you
right.
interview-
She's being
So-
spicy, guys. Stop it.
Auntie had a question for Andrew.
Oh yeah.
What was your question?
Oh, she asked already.
He didn't answer because everybody's too busy
Go on,
jumping.
ask your question.
Everybody's too busy jumping in. I already asked, but you're not too busy jumping in and being women
He's
to be
patient.
listening. So
He's
now
ready to get
now
married.
you can all shut up and let him answer, innit?
I'll answer.
God, Lee. Yeah.
So to go back to one of my earlier points, firstly, to make it clear in the disagreement, I agree with, of course, I think everyone knows who I agree with. But I do, because you know what it is, though? You know what's actually funny? The things that she's saying are common knowledge 20, 30 years ago. This is how the world functioned. This is how the whole world functioned. The things I say that somehow people believe are controversial are exactly the way the world functioned in like the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. All of the entire period of human history, men had a role of masculinity, women had a role of femininity. We worked as a team. Now the world's come along and they've destroyed and broken everything. And there's this new progressive think and this new generation of women who seem to believe that if we completely fuck it all up, it's going to end up better. And my argument to that is, listen, we went from walking around in fields in small nomadic groups to building cities, to building the pyramids, to going to the moon. We managed to go from a few thousand to billions of people, populate the entire planet, build canals, build skyscrapers, cities. All of this was done based on the back of man being a man, woman being a woman, working together as a family.
And now it's destroyed.
Now they're going to come along and fuck it up.
If it's not broke, don't
It's
fix it.
destroyed. It's been destroyed. Man has destroyed Earth. What are you talking about? It's been bad decisions from powerful men that got men to go to wars and from women to lose husbands.
Men built.
Men make decisions for war.
Listen, please.
Men kill men.
There needs to be a mediator to shut that woman up in the middle.
Please listen to me. Men built the earth. I'm not saying men are perfect, but the entire world that you're existing under was built by men.
Yeah, it's
all
true.
of it. So, and the point I'm making is now we're entering a world of new think. And the problem with new think is it's not tested. I don't give a shit what anyone's opinion is. What I can state as a matter of fact is we had 5,000 years of history that tells us how the world works with X and Y together. We're now entering a new paradigm. There's no 5,000 years of history. So whatever you believe about how it's going to work or it's going to be better or worse, whatever, that's just you guessing. Everyone is guessing, right? So we're entering a brand new paradigm and everything's completely fucked up. The point you were making earlier, which is a fantastic one about if I'd pick a woman who's advertising, et cetera, men always, please keep this in mind, especially if you're a female. People always say, you know, the number of emails I get from girls who say you don't give enough girl game. I'll give you girl game right now. Your man wants status. That's what he wants. You need to find a way to make him look good to the world and to his friends.
So how do you do that?
I'll tell you, one of the ways a man can get status is to get the girl that no one can get. That's a very simple way, right? So
I said not ready to mingle. I did right.
Okay, no, but this is the truth, right? If I date a girl and she's perfect in every way, head to toe, and then I'd say, oh, I've met this girl. Yeah, she's this, she's this. Oh yeah, I took her for a date. Even if you didn't fuck her, did you fuck her? No, I just went for a date. So you went. The attraction goes from this to zero, done. And it may not for some men, because some men haven't got choices. But men like me who genuinely have unlimited options, we want complete exclusivity. That's what we're looking for because that gives status. That's what you're looking for. So you have to be very careful as a female with all of your actions, all of your interactions with your boyfriend or when you're looking for a boyfriend, et cetera, and say, am I going to make my man look better by doing X or look worse? Simple things. I've had endless arguments about girls' nights out, right? Oh, you're insecure. It's not about insecure. I don't give a fuck if no man talks to you all night long. I don't care if you're going out and you're going to an all-girl club. I don't care. I know that when my boys say, oh, all the girls are going out, and I say, not my girl, she stays home. I look good. That's it. She stays home. She doesn't go out. She doesn't want to go out without me. That's status. It's not about the night out. It's about the status of being the man in the house. That's what a man wants. He wants respect. He wants to be the man of the house. I say she stays home. She stays home. Big G. Boom, boom. That's what we want.
Can I ask you something? What does the woman want in your eyes? What do you think? And what's the game you give for the boys?
I'm going to tell you, but before that, I need another Clementine, and I need to give half to our friend here because she just rolled her eyes at me. And I'm perspicacious. I notice everything. She doesn't realize that I'm a ninja. I detect these things. Even when I'm looking directly ahead, I can detect it. So I'm going to give her some of my Clementine. and she's going to feel better.
Come on
I'm gonna
now.
get a Clementine for you.
I love how like Brittany Renner has been quiet and Andrew Tate just called her out. Says, hey, don't roll your eyes at my coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
You gonna drink this coffee, Brittany. Let's hear.
Would you like some Clementine, my dear?
I'm sure.
You want some Clementine?
I think for me, it's like.
I asked you a question. Would you like some
I would
Clementine?
love some.
You
Yeah.
want some Clementine?
Yeah.
We're going to hook it up.
Okay.
Clementine's coming. All right. Go on. Continue.
Okay. What?
No, I mean, I just feel like this is definitely a different conversation for me because I'm very open-minded. I love hearing different perspective, and I do feel like this is a newer idea. Like you said, within the last 30, 40 years, this is a new concept. We don't know how it's going to end. I just know from like my experience, other women that I've met as well, it's like the reason for even like relationships, why they're not lasting is because people don't want to put up with the disrespect. And like, even when you were talking about like, oh, it's okay for me to cheat, but not for you. My thing is like, why not have transparency and have it be polygamous, polyamorous, whatever works for you? That's like, to me, where it loses me with the traditional stuff.
I get it.
It's
All
like,
right.
why can't we have
So,
transparency?
okay.
And if I sign up for
Good
that,
question.
cool.
So how does it? No man in a million years. Let's all be realistic, right? No man in a million years is going to meet a girl he likes and go, I want to be polyamorous. Like, come on, that's gay. Let's cut this bullshit. So let's be realistic. How does a man show love to a woman? Tell me.
Exclusivity.
Wrong. That is how
Time, resources,
Wrong.
and something else.
Time, resources. So
Yeah.
that's a good way to start. So sexual exclusivity is how a female shows primarily that she is interested in a man. He's the only man who has sexual access to me because I can get pregnant, and this man is the only man who can do it. That's how it's done. A man, yes, I'm not saying all men can cheat. I'm not saying all men should cheat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if I truly love a woman, she won't sit there and go, he shows me his love because he doesn't fuck anyone else. She'll sit there and go, he shows me his love because my bills are paid, I'm in a Bentley, I fly private, I go to Dubai anytime I want, I have a Chanel bag. And I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about resource and a lifestyle as a whole. This is not just me. This is the world and most of the world today. If you go to Moscow and you find a big G, a rich guy, right? He has his wife, she's pushing a Bentley, she has the kids, she's living in a mansion, whatever. When he goes to the club with his boys, you think he ain't with 19-year-old strippers? Of course he is.
Can I ask
but she's
you-
just like, whatever, don't care. I'm the one who has the money. Don't give a shit. So you have to sit there, and to a point, you have to sit and analyze the difference. When you're saying disrespect, if you're gonna go through life as a woman and say, I only care about the sexual exclusivity of my man, then what you're gonna end up doing is having a bunch of failed relationships and loads of dudes.
Okay.
There has to get a point where you go, you know what, this guy ticks so many boxes. Once a year, twice a year, he's out with his boys, does some dumb shit. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't notice because my bills are paid. I'm looked after. I can tell he cares about me. If I have a problem, he's gonna fix it. He's ticked so many. That's the smart female move, as opposed to go, I don't care how good he is to me. He that once, so I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna get another man who I don't love, who'll another anyway, and then I'll get another man who I don't love, who'll end the cycle of dumb shit.
Can I
Because you
ask-
have to bite the bullet.
But more mild examples, though.
Wait. I have a question. Is there ever cheating that's too far? Like, so if a guy cheats on a girl, is there ever a point where she?
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of cheating. There's completely a lot of cheating.
So,
that's too
like,
far.
if he knocks up another girl, would you say that's too
all right,
far?
all right. So
Yeah.
first things first, I'm a man of my word. I don't even think I'm a liar. So here's your Clementine.
Thank you.
And he peeled it. What a gentleman.
you.
I'm a gentleman. Right. So obviously, I'm not saying blatantly disrespect your woman, right? She's your woman. She's your queen. She's the most important thing in the world to you. She needs to be treated in a way that she feels that, right? But it's unfortunate because I keep tying back to this baseline point. But the reason I keep going back to this baseline point is to try and explain to everybody at home how simple the world can be if you go back to the baselines of it. Why do men cheat? Most women don't know. You'll see them all the time. Why do men cheat? Oh, because men are just stupid. And why do men girls uglier than their main chick? Why do men do all this stuff?
They had
Do you
a
know
moment.
why? I'll tell you why. Let's go back to the first thing I've been saying this whole time. Status. Yeah, that's my chick. She's home. Took this one home. Yeah, I got that one. She's chasing me.
That's
Status.
dead.
Status. But it's stupid to females. I get it. But that's the male world because sexual access is an easy indicator of status. So that's one of the reasons they do it, right? So you have to go back into the baseline of why men even cheat in the first place. I'm telling you, if you're a woman, the smartest thing you can do is look after your man, make him not want to cheat, be perfect. But there's going to be a time across a 20-year marriage you might just need to be a little bit blind.
Come on. Listen, I don't know why people hate that being said right there, right? People hate that shit, man. They do not like that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
I've said it a few times when I'm trying to explain how marriages in the past that lasted 50, 60, 70 years for a lot of women today, they can't even imagine that. Because there would be some bullshit that would happen within that marriage. Like, let's say 10 of those 60 years were bullshit. most of these women will be ready to push that eject button and F you over. And the whole family and the kids. Modern women for you. Let's keep watching.
A little bit. Just a tiny bit. Just don't look at his phone.
So
and you'll be cool. You'll be cool. Just make sure the bills are paid. He does his jobs as the man.
What
now,
if you can pay your own bills,
but, no,
though?
But this is it. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm not saying allow this for some Joe Schmo. I'm not saying let some loser pick you up, lock you down, and go cheat on you.
Right.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he's a G and he's doing enough of his other jobs. As for you saying, what if you can pay your own bills? Then what's the reality you face? Just like I described earlier, I'm going to decide that the thing that I prioritize above everything, above his resource, above the amount he cares for me. You'll see men cheat on a woman and then cry his eyes out trying to get that woman back. He still loves you. It's not the same as if you cheated.
Bro.
He loves you with all his heart. He'd die for you. He'd take a bullet for
Bro.
you. He still that doesn't matter.
Bro.
It's a different game for men, right?
Bro.
So you're sitting there going, well, I'm going to prioritize his sexual exclusivity over all of his other attributes. You're just going to end up having endless failed relationships. Too many dudes, and then what's going to happen is your psychology is going to break because females don't like to accept the fact that if you sleep with enough men and you get rid of the stigma around a new your instant answer is constantly new dick. He didn't text me today. It's someone else. He was rude to me. I'll cheat. He was this. I'll get a new boyfriend. And then you end up just jumping on all day and you're done. You need to. The reality is, you have to come to a point where you get a guy and he ticks boxes. And you're like, you know what? I'm wifey. I got the Bentley. He does whatever he does, but my bills are paid. That's it.
When would you say? When would you say it's too far? I'm just curious if there's a line that you would like if he spends money on another girl. If he when does it?
Okay, that's a good question.
And second question: do you think that men ever fall in love with side chicks?
Very good question. And this is a long and in-depth answer, but it's a good question. Let me peel my clementine. But no, but it's a good question. Where is too far? I think publicly disrespecting is too far. So you'll notice. Let's take the Moscow G. All right, let's take an oligarch, a billionaire from Moscow. He has his wife. He has the girls he's in the club with. The girls he's in the club with wouldn't dare message his wife. They wouldn't dare step out of line. Like, they know their place, right? So if there's a hierarchy and they know their place, that's one way of doing it. Mm-hmm. Spending money on a girl, certainly, yeah, because men show love primarily through our hard work. Not just through our resource, but through our hard work. If you take a man who's not particularly rich, he shows his wife love by getting up every day, going to work 9 to 5, working his ass off and paying those bills. That's how he shows love. That's why he does it, for his wife and his children. Most men are out here working bullshit jobs, carrying trash. They're doing that to show love. So giving money, yeah, that would be a far more scary indicator than just sex. Let me give you all an example. I don't know if you all know my history, but I used to run a webcam business a long time ago. Don't want to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. But I had a bunch of girls who used to sit online and talk to guys, and they had laptops, right? This is a long time ago. And I used to sit and say to some of the webcam girls, I'd say, this man who is sitting in and logging in every night and sending you money every day and telling you he's obsessed with you from the other side of the world and missing out on time with his family to sit here and talk to you and send you money. That is more cheating than if he just went out and banged something. If he went out and banged something and came home, then done. But he's sitting here giving you his time, his money, his affection. That's cheating for a man. For a man to sit there and give money and time away, right? Yeah. So you have to stop this idea of sexual exclusivity. Yes, that's for females. That's how females show their love to men. It's not how high status, at least, males show their love to females. And anyone who wants to disagree with me, call me wrong, call me misogynist, whatever bullshit, look at a history book. Every king, every sultan, every conqueror, every emperor, every knight, all of them had maidens, wives, all of them. That's history.
What level of G do you have to be allowed to cheat?
Well, it's not about even being allowed to cheat. I'm not even saying that. And it also depends on the partner you're with. I'm not trying to sit here and advocate for men to run around and a bunch of women. I'm not saying that.
That's what you're doing.
No, but I'm not.
No. Let him explain. Let him land. He's about to come. Now, our sister, let him land.
No, but I'm not. What I'm actually trying to do is describe the baseline unfortunate realities of human dynamics. And I'm trying to explain now to the world that any woman can get a man who will not cheat on her if she's prepared to sacrifice a bunch of other things, perhaps, right? In the olden days, it was different. The world was a different place. It was a completely different place, and it was better. Now it's all up. It's up on every level. And men, especially the high status men, most of them have struggled so hard to become high status. They've been through so much shit to get where they are. It's like telling him, if you climb this mountain, you can go to a candy store. And he climbs to the top of the mountain, and the second he's in the candy store, after one piece of candy, that just saying, no more candy. He's like, no, I just climbed this mountain. I just got rich. I just went through X, Y, Z. I finally got here. I'm finally in the candy store. Now you're telling me I can only have one piece of candy?
Okay.
What man's going to agree to that?
Do you think that men owe a woman loyalty if she was there from the beginning?
Absolutely. They absolutely owe that woman loyalty.
Oh, sorry, sexual loyalty. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Sexual exclusivity
Yeah.
is different. Sexual exclusivity and loyalty are completely disconnected for males. Nobody wants to talk about this, but it's the unfortunate reality. It's true. I'm telling you, you can get a man, he can go on a holiday, some stripper, could come home, and you can lie detector test him. Do you love your wife? Would you die for your wife? Would you take a bullet for your wife? He'll pass the lie detector test. He loves her with all his heart. He'd do anything for her.
That's true.
It's just pussy. It's not a big deal. It's different.
I feel like, I guess my question would be then is like, how do you view sex? Because I like sex at the end of the day is spiritual unification.
Well,
I feel like
here we
I've gone
go.
through a lot of different stuff. I've had a lot of different experiences where I did not value myself. So I never had a man that valued me.
Keep in mind, guys, that Brittany Renner is now talking about how sex is spiritual unification, right? She's hit her epiphany phase. She's about like 30 years old. And this is how women talk. This is how women talk as they approach the wall. If it hasn't hit them already, just like this. Now she's viewing sex as this spiritual thing. Oh, now let's change the definition of sex. And it's special. But was it special in the past? She said no, not to her. At least not to the men who had sex with her. At least not to the men who slept with her and treated sleeping with her like it was taking a piss, in her own words. Right? And so now she's talking about how sex is spiritual and all this other stuff, when in actuality, sex works differently for men than it does for women. Let's keep listening.
So it's like, yeah, you rack up guys and guys you shouldn't be texting back or whatever. But I feel like I understand that there is a difference with how men view sex and how they move around in the world. But it's like, sex is a sacred thing, no matter male or female is doing it. So that's why for me, like my biggest, like the hardest for me to understand is like, this is such a sacred thing. And it's just
Hearing Brittany Renner saying sex is a sacred thing is just, it's more comical than anything else. The reason why it's funny is because everybody within like the RP space, the manosphere, predicted this, because this is what women do, right? They'll start off with the peak part of their years where they're the most attractive, treating sex like it's just an average thing. Women say body count doesn't matter. But ironically, if you go on dating apps and strictly are looking from ages between like about 28 and above, all of a sudden now sex matters. Now she's dating with a purpose. But does body count matter? Or does it not matter? Does sex matter or does it not matter? Or could it be that sex matters differently for men and women? Let's keep listening.
It's like taking a piss for a guy.
Can I just say something? You sure you weren't making love to somebody that was having sex?
I'm sorry?
You sure that you weren't making love to somebody that was just having sex?
Hey, auntie, that's
Have I
in there.
No, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like as women, they make love to men that are just having sex.
Right.
That's the difference.
That's not the point.
But my thing is, okay.
I think when men hear that though, it's like if it was sacred to you, you would have waited till you were married.
But it's like right. No, I get that. But the reality is that the world is not so black and white. So I understand that there are these things in place that worked and made sense, and now we're approaching an era that like we don't know what's going to happen. But there's gray area. You've had sex, I've had sex, she's had sex, we've had sex with different guys. That doesn't mean that we're damaged goods, we're used goods. I understand status is a big part of that. I understand that sex is viewed differently, but I feel like you should not. If you're looking at face value, I can understand why you would be judged from your past. But if I'm a guy interested in you, I don't care about what you've done.
But that's the thing. Like men do though. That's the thing. Like a virgin's more valuable to a man than a girl that's had sex with multiple men. Like it just is what it is.
There's a limit.
But the modern man's solution is not a virgin. A modern man needs a partner, somebody that's actually smart and can survive in the world of today.
But I'm saying the men with
and
the
that's
most,
going to be a lived
the
woman.
The men with the most choice are going to pick women that are more pure in general.
The ones that are already self-made, I guess so. But that's the thing. The reality is that there's a lot of men out there, especially in the world that we live in today, that need a partner. So it's time for those masses of men to start respecting women for the role they can play in their lives.
I don't think average men expect women to be virgins.
Do you know what it is?
But it's this rhetoric that actually then is pumped into these minds and creates what
Average men are getting what's left.
people are not complaining about the misogynistic world.
No, do you know
That's what it is. Even in schools, it's like permeated through it all and perpetuated.
Why is it misogynistic for men to prefer women that are more
It's
pure?
not that it's not, that's not the problem. The problem is now, listen, the maths is very simple. You've got people like Andrew Tate talking about these things with such clarity, and it makes so much sense because it is true, right? And then you have men that are in these situations where just average, working an average job, and they cannot fulfill whatever definition is called to be a man in these
Yes, they can, and that's what he said. He did say that. Yes, they can.
No,
a 9 to 5 man can do it.
But then again, wait. This is the thing. What we're talking about as a man, and this is why I say it's very important for us to understand the person that we're speaking to. And I'm very glad that you clarified everything that you mean. Not every man is like Andrew Tate. Not every man is going to be able to even realistically demand for certain things from a woman. So the same way women need to compromise if it comes to a man who is going to cheat on her because he's a top G, is the same way men are going to have to compromise and stop blabbing about purity.
But here's the problem. I just said something there. I said average men get what's left. And Pearl said, I don't think average men are expecting virgin men. Why? Because they understand that modern women today, again, much like Brittany Renner, spend their younger years getting passed around by the top % men. And then they go try to settle down with these average men. But average men today are, while they still won't expect a virgin, they're not settling down for a woman who's an extreme 3 or 4. In this day and age, especially men who are aware, are looking at women who've been passed around a little bit too much. And they're saying, no, thank you.
When they can't demand for that.
Right? You didn't get none of what he
I made my point. That was the whole point.
What point? Well, duh. What? Because you just quoted him. You just said about his thing, and you didn't.
Not only did I get clout, I made my point. I said the average man does not have what it takes to demand for a virgin no more.
Hang on a minute. He already said that.
And I reiterated in my own words for my own content for my page. And
do you
so
know what it is, right? Is that too many women, they see regular guys and they feel they're settling. You're not settling. You're getting what you deserve.
But you can't be asking
You're not
for a
settling.
virgin, though.
You're not settling.
But the difference is men
He's not
know
asking
this.
for a virgin.
Like most average men aren't demanding.
The average men, the average men never said they were virgin.
But the difference is wait. The difference is average men know they don't deserve a 10. They know they don't deserve an 8. They know they don't even deserve a 7.
And they still go messaging them on the stories and do all this dumb stuff that's just ugly.
Like most men in history haven't even reproduced. And so it's like men know, but the women are the ones that are delusional.
There's regular men out there. There's regular men out there.
Chris Hemsworth. There's
regular men out there that will have you down.
Yeah, but can I just say, people are watching Tate, not understanding that Tate is part of that 1% of success, and they think that they can demand the same thing. No, they can demand purity.
No, they don't.
One second. Sorry. I understand the point you're all making, but let's understand something. To the sexual marketplace, females have always been, and still to a degree are, the gatekeepers. It's men will, you can think about it in a very simplistic way. This is not the case, but let's simplify it for the sake of argument. Imagine men will run around and anything, and women are the ones who say yes or no. You are the gatekeepers that have all the power. And this is what's actually truly interesting about the sexual marketplace, because whenever women go, there's not enough good men, then why you of course, why would they be good if you don't make them be good? You're losers.
That's a good point.
So women. So you're talking about. I'm saying.
Jesus, good point. Good point. Another coffee for Andrew Tate.
Drink the coffee; it'll make you feel better.
Saying that a man at a certain level can't do certain things. If you were with Joe Schmo and he wasn't treating you the way you believe Joe Schmo should treat you, then why are you with him?
Leave. Sis, leave.
Like women have the gatekeeping. So if you get Joe Schmo and he treats you like you're his queen and treats you perfect, good. If you get a guy at the absolute upper echelons of value and you still aren't happy with what he's giving you, then leave. Women are the gatekeepers. You women actually have all of the power. This is what's beautiful about the whole thing. Yeah. Women are constantly complaining. You have all the power. You're the ones who get to choose. Do you know who you should be mad at for all this shit? I'll tell you who you should be mad at. Do you know who threw away all the female power in the sexual marketplace? Promiscuous females. Because now you got chicks who will bang anybody without trying. So why should a dude get up and try?
No,
do you have any idea how hard it is to actually be? Let me make this clear.
Go on, sir.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to actually be, no bullshit, a man? And I say this and women go, oh yeah, I do that. As soon as most women encounter any kind of problem, the first thing they do is turn to a man their man, their dad, the mechanic, the police, a man. If you actually put a woman in front of a problem and go, no men, they're like, oh, whoa. It's a mental breakdown. Men, day after day, especially if you're a high-level man, let me make it something clear from my life. I'll talk from personal experience. I'm not just looking after me. I'm not just looking after my chick. I'm the guy in about 300 people's phone books that they call when anything big goes wrong. You get arrested in Russia, you need extraction from Ukraine, you need $1 million, whatever it is, Kazakhstan, abduction, they call me. I'm the first phone call. I'm fixing 400 different lives. I'm a problem solver. Chicks can't fix any of this shit, right? This is how hard it is to be a man. And it's amazing because society expects it of you, but so do women. If you had a man, be honest, you had a man and you went to your man and said, oh, I've got this problem, I can't fix this, it's broken, the car tire's broken. And he went, I don't know. You would dry up, like, you'd be like, well, what the fucking point are you? That's the truth. You could sit here and go, oh, we'd call a mechanic. No, you wouldn't. You'd look at your man and go, what do you mean you can't fix it?
I'll do it myself, waste man.
And this is what she's saying about your man will get up and go, and you know what's beautiful about masculinity? A bunch of times a man will go up and he doesn't have a clue how to fix it himself. But he'll go, don't worry, baby, okay. And he'll stand up with no money and no clue, and he'll go out there try and find a way, because as a man you need to be useful. It is so difficult to be a man. You have no idea the amount of pressure that we're under from society and from the women we even want to associate with. On a whole, it's difficult. So you have to keep all these things in mind. It's hard.
All right, guys, that's about it. Listen, this is an interesting podcast. I'm going to actually finish the rest of this. I'm about an hour in right now. I'm going to go listen to the rest of it by myself. I'm interested to hear more of Brittany Renner's response to what Andrew Tate has to say. Yeah, great stuff so far. Listen, I'll have the link to the original video pinned to the top of the comment section. I'll conclude by saying this. If you are a man today or a woman and you understand these concepts that are being discussed and you agree with a lot of like the observable reality that's made, practical advice, the realistic way of looking at relationships, dating, marriage, you will be a lot better off than the millions of people out here who can't even have the conversation, right? Who can't even sit down and have the conversation. You'll be a lot further on in understanding in life in general. If everybody just drunk a cup of coffee once in a while, life would be easier. This is especially beneficial for men because I think indirectly content like this also helps motivate men to be the best versions of themselves. Listen, guys, get out here and work. Get out here and work. Everybody who subscribed to my channel, which is not many people at all in the grand scheme of the world, you can be that top % in the world. You already are in understanding. Now translate that into your work ethic and get out here and improve your lives, right? As always, man, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Until next time, man, I'm out. Peace.